The disappearance of Sebastian Rogers from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, in the pre-dawn darkness of February 26, 2024, is a case that chills to the bone, a haunting example of how quickly and completely a life can vanish, leaving behind a vacuum of uncertainty, a web of unanswered questions, and the agonizing pain of a family desperately searching for answers that may never come. It's a story that unfolds not with dramatic revelations, but with a slow, creeping dread, a growing sense of unease that intensifies with each passing day, each unanswered phone call, each fruitless search. The case highlights the vulnerabilities of children, even in seemingly safe suburban environments, and the terrifying reality that sometimes there are no easy answers, no clear explanations, just a void where a vibrant young life used to be. The silence surrounding Sebastian's disappearance is deafening, punctuated only by the desperate pleas of his family and the frustrating lack of progress in the investigation. The setting itself plays a crucial role in the unsettling nature of the case. Hendersonville, a suburb northeast of Nashville, is not a remote wilderness, nor is it a high-crime urban area. It's a typical American community with families, schools, and a sense of normalcy. Yet, within this ordinary setting, an extraordinary and deeply disturbing event occurred. The fact that there was no sign of forced entry into the home, no indication of a struggle, no obvious evidence of an abduction by a stranger, is a critical and deeply perplexing detail. It suggests one of two unsettling possibilities. Either Sebastian, a 15-year-old with autism, left the house on his own accord in the middle of the night without shoes and dressed only in a sweatshirt and sweatpants, ill-equipped for the late winter Tennessee weather, or someone he knew, someone who had access to the home, someone who wouldn't have triggered an alarm, was involved in his disappearance. Both scenarios are deeply concerning, and the lack of a definitive answer only amplifies the sense of dread. The time of the disappearance, described vaguely as the early morning hours, is another crucial and chilling factor. It was dark, the time when most people are asleep, their homes quiet, their streets deserted. This significantly limits the possibility of witnesses, of anyone seeing Sebastian leave the house, of anyone noticing anything unusual or suspicious in the neighborhood. It creates a window of vulnerability, a period of time when a young man could vanish seemingly without a trace, swallowed up by the darkness. The fact that he was wearing only a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants and glasses, and that he left his shoes behind, further underscores the unsettling nature of his departure. It suggests a lack of preparation, a hasty exit, a scenario that is inconsistent with a planned, deliberate departure. Was he lured outside? Did he experience some sort of crisis that prompted him to leave in a hurry? Or was he taken, against his will, from the presumed safety of his own home? Sebastian's autism adds another layer of complexity and concern to the case. While described as high-functioning, his autism could have made him more vulnerable, potentially less able to communicate effectively with strangers, less aware of potential dangers, and more likely to react unpredictably to stressful or unfamiliar situations. It's possible he wouldn't have understood the gravity of his situation, wouldn't have recognized the need to seek help, or wouldn't have known how to ask for it. This vulnerability, coupled with the darkness, the cold, and the lack of any clear indication of his intentions or destination creates a chilling picture of a young man alone and at risk. The immediate aftermath of Sebastian's disappearance was a whirlwind of activity, a desperate race against time to find him before it was too late. His parents, upon discovering he was missing, the exact timeline of this discovery remains a crucial and frustratingly unclear detail, contacted law enforcement, triggering an extensive multi-agency search effort. The Hendersonville Police Department, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, TBI, the state's top law enforcement agency, all became involved, indicating the seriousness with which the case was being treated. Hundreds of volunteers joined the search, combing the area around Sebastian's home, driven by a mixture of hope, fear, and a deep-seated sense of community responsibility. Specialized teams, including canine units with dogs trained to track human scent, dive teams to search the nearby bodies of water, particularly Old Hickory Lake, and aerial support, using drones and helicopters to survey the landscape from above, were deployed, highlighting the scale and intensity of the search efforts. The search area itself was varied and challenging, encompassing suburban neighborhoods, wooded areas, fields, and the shoreline of the lake, a landscape that could easily conceal a person, either intentionally or unintentionally. An Amber Alert, a system designed to rapidly disseminate information about missing children believed to be in imminent danger, was issued, broadcasting Sebastian's description and the circumstances of his disappearance throughout Tennessee and neighboring states. This alert signaled law enforcement's strong belief that Sebastian was at risk, that his disappearance was not a simple case of a teenager running away. Yet, despite the extensive search efforts, the widespread media coverage, and the Amber Alert, no confirmed sightings of Sebastian were reported, no concrete clues to his whereabouts emerged, and the investigation, despite its intensity, seemed to hit a wall of silence. The lack of a digital footprint, the absence of any reported online activity or communication that might shed light on Sebastian's plans or intentions, is another deeply unsettling aspect of the case. In today's hyper-connected world, most teenagers leave a trail of digital breadcrumbs: social media posts, text messages, online searches, gaming activity. The fact that investigators have apparently found nothing of significance in Sebastian's digital history is highly unusual and deeply concerning. It either means that he had no relevant online activity, which is unlikely for a teenager in 2024, or that investigators are keeping that information extremely close to the vest, a strategy often employed to protect the integrity of an ongoing investigation and to avoid compromising potential leads. The parents, as is inevitably the case in disappearances involving children, have been subjected to intense public scrutiny, their every action, their every statement dissected and analysed online and in the media. This is, unfortunately, a standard, albeit often unfair, aspect of such investigations, and it doesn't necessarily imply guilt or wrongdoing. Law enforcement has stated that Sebastian's mother and stepfather have been cooperating with the investigation, but the relentless online speculation, the often cruel and unfounded accusations levelled against them, adds an unbearable layer of pressure and pain to an already devastating situation. The lack of any other viable leads, The absence of any other clear explanation for Sebastian's disappearance, naturally and understandably, draws attention to those closest to him, those who had the last known contact with him. The complete lack of witnesses, despite the suburban setting, is another deeply puzzling element of the case. It's difficult to imagine that a 15-year-old boy could simply vanish from his home in the early morning hours without anyone seeing or hearing anything suspicious. Did neighbors sleep through something crucial? Was there a deliberate attempt to avoid detection? Or is there simply no one who saw anything relevant? The silence of potential witnesses is deafening, and it adds to the growing sense of mystery and unease. The why of Sebastian's disappearance remains the most profound, the most haunting, and the most frustratingly unanswered question. What prompted him to leave his home, or what circumstances led to his being taken from his home in the middle of the night, without shoes and dressed so inadequately for the cold weather? Was it a voluntary departure, perhaps triggered by some unknown personal crisis, some adolescent impulse, some desire to escape, however temporary? Was it an accident, a sleepwalking episode gone tragically wrong, a fall, a sudden medical event? Or was it something far more sinister? Something that involves foul play, the deliberate actions of another person or persons? The complete lack of a clear motive, the absence of any obvious explanation, is deeply disturbing, leaving a void that is quickly filled with speculation and fear. As of May 2024, the case of Sebastian Rogers remains an active, ongoing investigation. Although the large-scale physical searches have been scaled back, which is a common occurrence in missing person cases as time passes and leads dwindle, law enforcement continues to follow up on tips, analyze evidence, and pursue any potential leads, however faint. No arrests have been made, and no one has been officially named as a suspect. This fact fuels the frustration and the growing sense of unease within the community. Sebastian's family, particularly his mother and stepfather, continue to plead for information. They strive to keep his case in the public eye and to maintain hope that somehow, someway, answers will be found. Their pain, their anguish, their unwavering determination to find their son is a constant, heartbreaking reminder of the human cost of this unsolved mystery. The disappearance of Sebastian Rogers is a deeply unsettling case, a chilling reminder of the vulnerabilities of children, the unpredictable nature of fate, and the enduring power of mystery. The combination of his age and his autism, the lack of any clear clues or witnesses, the unanswered questions surrounding the circumstances of his departure from his home, and the agonizing passage of time without any resolution create a profound sense of unease, a fear that permeates the community, and a desperate longing for answers. It's a stark reminder of how easily, how quickly someone can vanish, and how incredibly difficult it can be to find them, even with extensive resources, dedicated search efforts, and widespread media attention. The silence surrounding Sebastian's fate is deafening, a void that screams for answers, for justice, and for a resolution that, as of yet, remains tragically elusive. The case is a testament to the enduring power of the unknown and the unwavering human need to make sense of the senseless.